Hey, it's me again. Um, this week we're talking about Ruto in Mount Kenya. The subject in Mount Kenya is Gachagua. Every other thing people talking in these meetings are Gachagua. So we'll be hearing nothing else but what Gachagua this, Gachagua that, and that kind of stuff. So he tells us that Gachagua impeached him because Gachagua tried to blackmail him. 10 billion. Otherwise, he would be one-time president. But he's a one-time president, regardless. Whether you took a Shagua's bribe, whether there was a bribe or there was no bribe, stuff like that, the kind of crossings you made in Mount Kenya make you a one-time president. It's only that you have realized that this can be it, that you've tried to crisscross Mount Kenya, trying to lie. You manufacture lies. I think when you're going, when you're resting, when you're in your sleep or something like that, when Ruto is resting in his sleep, Kaongo, let's call him that, all he is doing is computing lies, faster than his chapati machine. I, anyway, we have had enough for that 1 week. For those few hours, he's been in Mount Kenya, and the reason is giving. Anyway, Marcoman, I guess, in preparation for what will be in Mount Kenya, he warned the youth, said that those people who are insulting others, stuff like that, the words he was using. You're saying they're mental ill, saying it's a mental issue, right? Mental health. The youth, the Gen Zs, are doing whatever they are doing because of mental health. And then he says that mental health is because of bangi and some other drugs. I don't know what he's talking about. You know, this is a guy who was caught with $200 million in a briefcase in Dubai. Alikuwa ametoa wapi? He must be the drug baron out there. You know, so the only thing you're left with, because you cannot explain, you don't know how to persuade, you don't know how to, just to explain yourself for good leadership is insults, in and out. You know, it's not going to work. It's not going to work in Mount Kenya. Just come, let the president come to Mount Kenya and make a fool of himself. It's okay. We need to know a little bit. Let's see how those. We'll be analyzing. We'll be analyzing this guy's lies for the next 1 month, tearing it apart, comment, and then of course, because he's not a smart guy, you know, kidogo kidogo hivi, he'll be reviewing or revising those lies and putting them in a different way, because that's what he is. But when you lie, you can't lie consistently, because now the audience he has, or whatever he's saying, is for the audience of Mount Kenya. When he goes to Nyalayago, or whatever those places are called, he'll be lying or giving out lies for the audience of Kisumu. That's why his lies shift so much, you know. So he tells us JB was incompetent. Muturi was incompetent. Okay, fine. So he's incompetent as AG. So he gives him CS. All right. He kind of elevates him. But let's look at something else. When the Gen Zs went out, right, and things were hot, the guy couldn't sit on a seat because he was shivering all over the place. He fired the cabinet. And what did he say? They are not doing their job. Translation, incompetent. They were incompetent. Then what happens? A week, he hires them. He brings them back. So he loves incompetence. Whatever it is he means by incompetence, he loves those things. He can't work with all those guys who are incompetent, I guess. But the common denominator about these incompetent people is Ruto himself. I think he's the most incompetent fellow. So let's look at that incompetence for a second. So today, during his radio wongoing over there, he's talking about abductions, because he was asked about abduction and extrajudicial killings. He said that he removed the police department from the office of the president so that they can be free and do what they need. He has nothing to do with abductions. And the police, it's police's responsibility. They need to take accountability. They need to take responsibility. The police, KDF, whatever they call it now, had already said earlier, we have no idea who is doing abductions. Over and over again, Kanja has already said that. So they must be incompetent too. they have to be incompetent if they don't know who is abducting, who is doing these killings, and so on and so forth. So he said he has instructed, actually, this is what he said, that he has dismantled that unit that was doing abductions and killings. He has dismantled that. Now, dismantling means he knows who they are. They are known people. So he has dismantled them. Then what next now? They're going scot-free? Maybe the problem with Wongo, you have to cover the lie in its totality. And he doesn't know how to do it. In fact, you cannot. So we want accountability of those young men that died. Mkuru, what happened? Is it because you removed the police department from the office of the president? Now you even don't know, or you don't even, nobody briefs you about these things. What an incompetent president. Actually, among all things, we have the most incompetent president. Somebody was saying that Kenyans have elected you as the most corrupt head of state ever in Kenya. Well, they should have added that you are the most incompetent of them all, those presidents. And now you're coming around saying that you're going to run again, you want another term or stuff like that. Kenya will be gone because of the kind of corruption we hear. Even Bandi, your Minister of Finance, yes, of Finance, was accepting the other day that if only you guys could steal and bring the money to Kenya so that it circulates within Kenya. That's what he said. He's the CS of Finance. He's not talking about money that was stolen yesterday. He's talking about money that is stolen today, continuously. And that this money is stolen na inapelekwa Dubai. And then from Dubai, it goes to Tanzania and builds malls in Tanzania. So in Kenya, there is a drought of money. We don't have money. No? He's talking about maybe we should allow corruption, a full CS, allow corruption, so that, and he even gave it a different name. He called it embezzlement, as if it's better than corruption. I don't know. I don't even know the difference. So that when you steal money, you bring it, but please bring it back to Kenya and build a mall in Kenya, or so that employment can happen. So he's pleading with the current regime and what is going on in the current regime so that the stealing can be strategic. It's not a question of eliminating stealing, because stealing and corruption, it seems like this government is one and the same. I mean, they are together with corruption. They can't be separated. They are joined in the hip. So the thing about it is that, okay, fine, let's steal. But when we steal, let's bring the money home so that we can build hotels or the other things we can, and people will be employed. That is resign. That's called resignation. You're like, you know what? We can't do anything about corruption. Let's just allow it. But the way we allow it is that we bring it in. Maybe it's something they have spoken with these people so that we don't arrest them when they bring this money back. That could be, because they have no idea what will happen when this government falls, because this government will fall. Whether 2027 or so, that we don't know. What Gachagua, if Gachagua told you you'll be on-time president, then you are. You better believe it. You need to believe it. Let's wait for more that is going to be coming out of this tour, the Uongo tour, that he's giving, and the lies. And I didn't even mention all the lies that he talked about. There are too many. And as I said, we'll be analyzing them all of this month. He said this day, I said we'll be analyzing them. This is the most arrogant, liar, thief, murderer, abductor. We have given him names. We are not even done giving names. And Ruto must go is the new slogan. Ukiamka, you wake up with it. When you end the day, you end the day with it. We have to make sure it's like the way we used to say allegiance or assembly. Kila asubuhi, it's Ruto must go, because he has to go.